Coming up in this video, we are camping at a seafood lover's paradise. It's time to make a run for the border where we see adorable kids juggling and a fire-breathing man. We also find out if our little Mexican rescue puppy Lucy can get into the States.
We are Ben and Rebecca, a couple of travelers from Alaska with the dream of driving around the world with our road dog Lucy. COVID has put a kink in our plans, so we're killing time and making the most of life in one of our favorite places, Baja California, Mexico. These films are produced with your support, the Outliers YouTube community. Click join on our channel for early video releases, exclusive content, increased engagement, and so much more.
Well, good morning. We have moved since we've last spoken to you. We left off at Playa La Gringa in Bahia de Los Angeles, and we took a day off from recording. It happens. It's necessary, but we covered a lot of ground. We have bounced from, once again, the Cia Cortez side to the Pacific side, and we've landed at Campo Don Alvaro, and it's like 10 miles down a network of dirt roads to the coast here, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a little village, and there's like these boutique little sea-to-table restaurants here. But this right here is as good as it gets, in my opinion.
You've been pretty happy since
we pulled in last night, and I am digging this and really looking forward to sharing it with you guys. We start our day the best way possible by taking Lucy for a walk on the beach.
Lucy! Hi, Lucy!
Named after the community we're visiting, this is Playa La Chorera. It's a Sunday and this beautiful beach is bustling, but in a good way. Kids are playing, families are barbecuing, fishermen are returning with their catch, and I'm casting a lure into the surf. Being a traveler, fishing unknown waters is challenging, and most of the time, I don't catch anything. But I have been known to get lucky every now and then, and that's why I love fishing, because you can't catch fish if you don't have a line in the water.
You're looking a little damp.
Yeah, thankfully there's a restaurant here.
We won't starve.
No, we will not starve. For seafood. About 10 miles off of the highway lies the community of La Chorera. It's a little fishing village located on the Pacific side of a peninsula that forms San Quintin Bay. It also sits in the middle of a volcano field. 12 volcanic cones have formed so far. The most recent eruption was 22,000 years ago, and the oldest was 180,000 years ago. We are staying at Campo Don Alvaro. Don has been welcoming travelers for 4 decades. All he asks is a donation, and we were more than happy to give him the going rate of 100 pesos per night. The Campo also has 2 seafood restaurants. Between the location and sea-to-table cuisine, we will never forget this culinary experience. Rightfully so, because what's not to love about getting a dozen of the freshest oysters for $6? Check out this view. We are sitting at a repurposed table from pallets.
First course has arrived at the table. We have drinks. So I ordered the agua de naranja, which is orange juice basically, and Ben ordered a limonada, which is a lemonade. And then for our first course, we have oysters 2 ways. First is au gratin, and I can't remember how to say it in Spanish. And then the other way is fresh or fresco.
A little bit of their really tasty salsa. That one's broken free and down the hatch.
All right, now it's my turn. And this salsa looks amazing. I'm really excited to taste it. Oh, that is really yummy.
The oysters here are so amazing. Oh, I could eat like this every day.
All right, I think it's time to dig into these oysters. Sans camera. Okay, next course up has a little bit of a funny story. On the menu, it says crema, and then you can get it with either clams or snails, and it's only available on Saturdays and Sundays. Today is a Sunday. We really had no idea what we were ordering. After we ordered it, I guessed that it was a clam chowder. Obviously, I was wrong, but it looks like a type of clam dip.
And let's see what the mystery dish is.
Cool.
It's cold, but it's definitely a dip. A really good dip.
Next course, we're going to try their shrimp quesadilla. And someone took a bite out of it before I got to it. I can't imagine who that would be. Lots of shrimpies and cheese. It's grilled shrimp.
I think this is going to be the last savory dish of today's little indulgence, but we ordered French fries, and they are very, very fresh, and they can be dipped in our clam dip as well. They're definitely homemade. That's awesome. They're really good.
We can't have dinner on a cliff without dessert. So we ordered it's choco flan. It's chocolate cake with flan on top. The combination is really good. If you've never had chocolate cake and flan together, because I hadn't before this winter, it's a must try.
Whew. That was an amazing meal. We do not eat like that every day or indulge in tasty things like that. First of all, the travel budget doesn't necessarily allow it, and we kind of save our eating out splurges for when we can share them with you, because food is a big part of culture and one of the best parts about traveling. A couple things I learned. First, they do not have alcohol here, but everybody brings in their own alcohol. So not sure if it's right or not, but they're not hiding it. They're walking in with cans of beer. And also, what's great is they have 3G Telcel service. It's not the world's fastest, but you can use your phone for texting and phone calls and get a little bit of internet. So not that bad of a deal at all. Man, this is heaven. Okay, all good things must come to an end. And I genuinely feel like we didn't necessarily save the best for last, but it kind of worked out that way, because this was probably one of the more memorable travel experiences we have had on this journey. But now, life being what it is, it's time for us to make a run for the US border and see if our little Mexican rescue puppy can get into the United States. I'm pretty sure we came into La Chorera the wrong way, and since it's the only way we know, we're going to leave that way as well. When venturing out here, you'll see a maze of sandy roads and lots of options. Choose wisely, because I would not recommend our route unless you have 4x4 to climb the hill. There surely has to be a better way into La Chorera for two-wheel drive vehicles. The dunes give way to lush farmlands in the San Quintin Valley. Did you know a lot of the strawberries you see in the stores up north come from right here? Sadly, we can't stock up on produce because we're crossing the border today.
We have bounced our way back down the dirt road to the Highway 1, and we made it across the busy intersection, back on the road to San Quintin and further north. It is time for us to cross the border today. We have been down here for just shy of 3 months, and there are other adventures to have north of here before the border, but As always, we tend to run out of time to tackle everything, and it's nice to leave some things for another trip.
There is time for a quick fuel stop to ensure that we have enough diesel to make it to the States without having to switch to our reserve tank. There is also time for one last visit to a roadside taco stand. It's very apparent how big agriculture is in the San Quintin Valley. People come from all over Mexico and Central America to work here. Continuing north up the highway, we enter Valle de San Vicente, the southernmost wine growing region on the Baja Peninsula. Amazing wines are grown here, and if you want a unique twist to visiting wine country, we recommend coming to Baja. After one last military inspection, we are back on the road and heading into the city of Ensenada. There's no shortage of familiar stores and signs that our trip is coming to an end. We did get lucky driving through Ensenada today because traffic here can be a nightmare.
We find ourselves north of Ensenada now. We're running right here along the Pacific Ocean, and we are at the critical juncture where we need to make the decision on which border crossing we're going to take back into the States. We have three choices: Otay Mesa, San Ysidro, or Tecate. Tecate was off the board immediately for the day because of where we want to go once we are in San Diego. Even though they have shorter wait times, it just didn't make good sense to go that route. San Ysidro and Otay Mesa at this current time have about the same wait times, but historical averages put Otay Mesa to be a little bit of a better choice. So we've opted for Otay Mesa. And the way that we made this decision was to use the BWT app on our phones, or border wait time apps made available by US Border Patrol. They give you the average wait time for the day of the week and the time of day you're coming through. And then they also tell you a accurate current wait time for their borders. Right now, Otay Mesa and San Ysidro are pretty close, but Otay Mesa is just a little faster. So we're going to go that route because once we're on the other side of the border, it's also good for where we need to go in San Diego.
Otay Mesa is a little further inland than the famed San Ysidro port of entry, which means we have to drive across Baja's largest city, Tijuana. Driving an RV through any city is challenging, and TJ does not disappoint. Between the traffic, unfamiliar roads, confusing signage, you'll need to have your game face on.
See, you can turn out of here, I think. They're crossing. If you could get over, we can get out. But where are we gonna go? So we asked somebody else in that lane because we started seeing signs for ready document only. And it turns out that was the ready lane. But the good news is he told us which lane is the all traffic lane, and we are about to get into it right now. But I can already tell you, we drove past this and there is no signage at all for it being the all traffic lane. None. We've already driven this part. So I don't know how you're supposed to figure it out. It is absolutely nuts at this border crossing. I would just say, when you have to make a choice about how to get in or out of Mexico, don't choose Otay. It's horrible.
Okay, well, I think we are in the correct lane now. Off here to my left is a longer line that turned out to be the ready line. And now, straight ahead is this line. And still no signage, but you got the vendors blocking two of the lanes. So I seriously have no idea what is going on here. Beck had to go to the bathroom because we've been driving around for like an hour trying to find this damn proper lane. Because you don't want to go landing yourself in the Sentry lane or the Ready Pass lane. That just does not work out. We've made that mistake once before. Actually, at this Otay border crossing, it was ridiculous.
Best 20 pesos I've spent in Mexico on this trip.
Okay, just for a quick time check, it is 5:14 p.m. And when Beck went to the bathroom, she got confirmation we're in the right place.
Lucy, are you nervous about your first border crossing to the United States? She says no, she has all of her paperwork in order. If you are new or have not been keeping up with us lately, we adopted Lucy in San Felipe on our trip down this time. So we've had her about 3 months, and she has a little passport with proof of all of her vaccinations, as well as her deworming, both of which are required to come into the States, rabies and deworming. And then she also has been microchipped, which isn't required for the US, but is for other countries. So she's set to go. It is a little nerve-wracking though, because we haven't done this before, and there's always the element of the unknown. But in our experience, they ask, do you have any pets with you? You say yes. They ask, are they vaccinated? You say yes. And they say, have a great day. So that's what we are expecting today.
Okay, it's 6:02 p.m. We can actually see the border now. Something happened. We were pretty much making no progress for about half an hour. And then all of a sudden the line started to move. So I'm not sure if things are like going in phases or they opened up another line, but I sure as heck hope it doesn't like stop again for a half hour, because I'm guessing there might be 25 vehicles ahead of us before the border. We strongly feel international travel deepens one's comprehension of humanity. It has a way of putting things into perspective, because being humans is the one thing we all have in common. When crossing the border from Mexico to the USA, the stark contrasts of society are ever apparent. For example, this adorable little girl and her brother. One would guess that her family needs money, but the bright smile on her face sends a different message. Is this type of happiness only possible through the naive eyes of a child? Further up in line, a man puts a flammable liquid into his mouth and becomes a human flamethrower. One has to fill in the blanks as to why he's willing to do something so hard on his body for pennies on the dollar. And no, we are not oblivious to the fact that we are making these observations on humanity as we comfortably sit in our $100,000 camper van while impatiently waiting to cross a border into the land of opportunity.
Hello. Hi. Is your car?
Yes. You want my mask on or off?
Yeah, you just pulled down. So you basically drove down from Alaska to here?
Indirectly, yeah.
Okay. What did you guys do in Mexico?
Enjoyed it. Like, we just savored the culture. We've been down since the end of January.
This year?
Yeah.
And where are you guys headed back to?
My dad's in San Diego.
Is it empty?
It's like an RV back there.
Oh, is it any food or anything?
We got rid of all of that before crossing.
You mind opening it?
No, not a problem. Can you turn off the engine, please?
What do you guys do for a living?
Well, we have an Airbnb in Alaska. We have a YouTube channel. And
What's your YouTube channel?
Outliers Overland.
May I get in?
Yeah.
All right.
All you guys do is just travel, or?
Yeah, we go home to Alaska for the summers sometimes. If our Airbnb is running, it's not these days.
So question, so when you guys have that YouTube channel, how does the profit work?
There's better ways of earning a living.
Okay.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah.
And it sure beats like the cubicle 9 to 5 bit.
But you always have to keep everything updated, like your vlog has to be like a daily thing or weekly.
Oh my goodness, no. So weekly or bi-monthly, every other week.
Okay. All right, have a good day.
All right. Thank you for your service. Helps if I start the engine. Roads are so smooth, honey.
I know, we can actually like think and hear ourselves.
Wow.
And that is a wrap for spring 2021 Mexico. We are back in the States. That was a very easy border crossing once we found the border to cross. We had a very friendly border patrolman, and he inspected the back for a couple minutes, didn't even ask about Lucy, even though he saw her, looked at our passports, asked us what we do for a living. That was about it. He let us go. So, doesn't get any better than that. I will say that we're really always happy to be back home. As much as we love Mexico and Baja, travel is intense. Being in Mexico is intense. We always come home exhausted. And on a personal side, like, I had a hard time finding my whole Baja groove, you know, that I usually just kind of get into this relaxed mode, and I don't know why, I still don't know why, but it definitely wasn't as relaxing this time as we usually experience, even though we didn't move as much. So kind of strange, but definitely feels good to be back in the States. Instantly noticed the really nice smooth roads. That's fabulous. And we hear that Dad has some dinner waiting for us at the house, so we're gonna go to Ben's dad's, hang out, chill, have something to eat.
Shower.
Oh yes.
Laundry.
Really need to shower and do laundry. But thanks for riding along with us. I hope you guys enjoyed our Mexico series as much as we enjoyed producing it. And you guys know this is not our last trip there, but who knows where the road will take us before we go back to Baja. So, have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. What do you think of the States, Lucy? Opinion yet to be determined. She's like, we're going really fast and the roads are very quiet. I don't know. Where are we? You should see her face.
Is it safe to try this?
Shouldn't you slow down, Dad? We're gonna hit a puddle.
Coming up in our next video from San Diego, California, we're visiting the taco shop that started a food revolution, driving our RV into the big city, taking a stroll through the park, paying our respects, and visiting the local Fuso dealer.
We always like to thank our Outliers community for supporting production of these videos. You guys are the best. Click join on our YouTube channel for early releases, exclusive content, increased engagement, and so much more.